welcome back to Cinematic Sarcastic, the podcast that talks all things movies and television. I'm Natalie, and I'm your host. On today's episode, we are going to talk about Paradise. This is a new sci-fi thriller series that is on Hulu, if I am not mistaken. This one stars Sterling K. Brown, James Marsden, and Julianne Nicholson. Now, for anyone who is not familiar with Paradise, this one really sort of starts off as a murder mystery. The president has been assassinated, and as you start to kind of learn what's going on, you are told that the world above, like the regular surface of the planet, has gone through some natural disasters, some nuclear war, and now the remaining people of the United States, 25,000 of them, are living in a town called Paradise underneath a mountain in Colorado. So woot woot, shout out to my home state. I will say, when I first heard about this show, I was not aware, I guess, of the sci-fi element, the sort of dystopian element to the show. And I kind of just thought that it was going to be another sort of presidential, this one with a murder mystery twist to it. And I was not particularly interested in watching it. And then I started seeing a bunch of people on social media talk about how Paradise was so good and they were lumping it in with Severance. And I figured, well, I had better give that a go. Because I love Severance. It is ruining my life at this point. And so who doesn't want more TV like that, right? I would just right out of the gate say that I do think that Paradise is a lot of fun. It is good entertainment. I would not personally lump Paradise and Severance together in the same category. I don't think that they are really all that close to one another in terms of just what the shows are and the level of quality that you are getting from them. I think that Paradise, like I said, is very entertaining. I would highly recommend if you're looking for like a dystopian presidential kind of, Secret Service show to watch. But for me, this one is nowhere near the just quality of Severance. Like I have mentioned, I think the writing, the set design, everything is just impeccable on Severance. And I think that Paradise is sort of like an average television show. And I don't say that in any way, shape, or form to like knock it or say that it isn't any good, but I would not say that this one is incredible. We'll put it that way. There are a lot of things in this show that, though entertaining, I think story-wise, don't quite make a whole heck of a lot of sense. I think for me, the more that the show goes on, the sort of less that I am enjoying it, just because I think that there are certain elements to this. And again, I don't want to give away any spoilers to the show, but there are certain elements, certain characters where I'm like, I don't understand why people think X about this particular character, because then, for instance, why would that character be here? We're talking about a civilization where they have chosen the best of the best of the best, right? The 25,000 people that they think are worthy to continue the United States. And so no one is going to be there that is just sort of like a mindless idiot, unless they are the spouse of someone. I think like the bartender in the city of Paradise is just tagging along with his wife, but by no means do I consider that character stupid. And so there are some other characters in this where I'm like, why would you be there? Like the twist or reveal, I guess, is more of an accurate thing of certain characters. I'm like, well, that isn't really much of a reveal because obviously they're not going to be the person that they have been portrayed as. It wouldn't make sense for them to be in this town at all if that was the case, right? So there are just little things like that that don't quite fit for me. I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I've worked out exactly who it is that assassinated the president after having caught up on the 7 episodes that are available now. I'm fairly certain I know who it is. And I don't know, it's not it's not holding me the way that the first couple of episodes did. I think the first 2 episodes were really incredible, really great. I think the 3rd episode was mostly filler for this television show. And then a lot of what's come after that has been pretty exciting, like in terms of entertainment value. But I wouldn't say put this in together with Severance, like I had mentioned. So I think if Severance was not going at the same time, or if this show was like in the off season season of Severance, in the 2 years that we would probably have to wait for another season of Severance, I would say I probably would enjoy this one much more. But I think going into it with that expectation, that level of expectation of people saying, wow, Paradise is incredible, and Severance and Paradise. And I think there's another show called The Pit, which people are raving about now. And these are the best ones that are on TV. When you look at how just otherworldly and phenomenal that Severance is, in my opinion, it's hard to compare other things to that. Like I really have a high bar for anything that someone compares to Severance. I'm like, it has to be really incredible. And though I think that Paradise is a good show, I will continue watching it. I do enjoy watching it. I don't think that all of the same elements are there. And I think that that's okay. Paradise is its own thing. I just think that the comparison sort of disappointed me a little bit because I was looking for Severance level quality entertainment, and I don't think that Paradise is quite there, but I do enjoy it. This is the first time I've ever seen Julianne Nicholson in a role where I do not like her. Like normally I think she is sort of that sweet character, the nice character. That is not the case in this show, and that is really kind of awesome to see her play a role where I despise her and hope terrible things for her character. James Marsden, I think, is an interesting one. I remember him being just like the it guy. He was in the X-Men and a lot of other sort of like rom-com type films. I feel like not too long ago, maybe it's been much longer than I realize, but it's just sort of interesting to me to see him now in these sort of kickoff roles, roles where he isn't necessarily the main character, where he doesn't necessarily last that long. Like I think there's another television series that I saw him play in where he was only in like 1 or 2 episodes and then gone. So I am happy to see him in this one in kind of a little bit more of a substantial role, but sort of sad to see, he does play the president, and obviously the show is his assassination, but there are a lot of like past sequences, so we do get to see him a lot more, which I am grateful for. I think once you hit that first episode and what's going on, I was super disappointed thinking that was going to be the only time that we saw him, because I do enjoy him as an actor. I think this is one of the first times also that I've seen Sterling K. Brown. I didn't recognize him too much from any other things, so it's exciting to get to see him really, for me, kind of for the first time. I feel like I'll have to look into him a little bit more and see what other stuff he's done, because I do think he is doing a really great job in this one. But I'm not overly blown away by Paradise, but I am enjoying myself watching it. I think it is good, just basic entertainment in terms of a television series, and I am interested to see kind of where it goes. I'm interested to see if I'm right about who the killer is in this instance, or the person who assassinated the president in the show. I am interested to see if I am correct in my guess of who that is, but I would recommend, if you guys are looking for something just to watch, since we haven't really had a whole ton of stuff in terms of television shows that have come out that have been all that great. I think Severance is probably the one that gets talked about the most, because I think it is the best television show on currently, maybe in the last few years. So those are really my thoughts on Paradise. I would love to know what you guys think of this one if you are watching it. Subscribe to join the Movie Nerd family, and I hope to see you in the next episode.